It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. This beer is mythical. What I have today is mythical. It's the type of beer you hear about all of the time, but never get the chance to try. You have to go to the Isle of Man. Lots of people go to the Isle of Man for the TT racing, the motorbike racing. And this is a brewery on the Isle of Man called Bushys. Bushys Brewery. And this is the Ale of Man. It's a 4.4% ABV premium Manx ale, bottle conditioned beer. I want to say a massive thank you to Roller Coaster Ride, who was really nice enough. One of his family members went over to the Isle of Man, picked him up a couple of bottles. He had one and he was kind enough to send me the other one. Thank you very much, mate. Really appreciate that. Here is a look at the bottle cap. I think Roller Coaster Ride does some beer reviews as well, so if you want to check out his channel, go and check out his channel. Very kind to send me a bottle of this beer. So without further ado, let's get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. Mythical beer. After all that, eh? We got to get the old trusty bottle cap out. There we go. Oh, come on. There we go. Right, beer in the glass. So with it being a bottle conditioned beer, I want all of that goodness from the bottle. I want it to make its way into this beer. So here we go then. Oh, brewery conditioned, not bottle conditioned. It's brewery conditioned. My mistake. I was looking for... there is little bits of sediment floating around. Fine particles of sediment floating around in the glass there. Golden amber coloured beer. One finger white head. Let's get the aroma. Lovely carbonation. Oh, that smells lovely. Oh, that smells lovely. Oh. Real lovely, rich, malty, biscuity. Slightly tart aroma. A little bit of marmalade or... yeah, a little bit of orange marmalade coming on the aroma here. Oh, that's right up my street. That smells fantastic. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Roller Coaster Ride. Malty, biscuity, chewy, bready. A nice hop character on the back end. There's a nice refreshing feel to this beer. I can imagine being in the Isle of Man. It's the type of beer. Now, the real reason why this beer is quite mythical to me is because I worked with somebody who knew I did the beer reviews, and he used to talk about Bushy's Brewery all of the time. He's well into his motorbikes. If you're watching, Dan, hiya mate. Well into his motorbikes. Goes over to the Isle of Man TT every year, does a bit of camping there, and he talks about this beer. Talks about this beer quite a lot. How good this beer is. I can imagine it being fantastic on cask. Properly kind of pulled cask beer. Pint after pint after pint, because it's 4.4% ABV. I can imagine you having a few with the motorbike racing on. And it's one of those beers, I think you have to really be in the Isle of Man to, pardon me, fully appreciate it. It's one of those beers, you just have to be there to appreciate this beer fully. It's a very nice beer. It's a very nice beer in the bottle. But I don't think it's a beer. I think like the bottling was maybe a little bit of an afterthought. I think a lot of the sales would come through cask beer. And it's very nice. It's very nice. It's tasty, as I've mentioned, all of the lovely flavours I've mentioned. But I can just tell. I've drunk enough beer to tell that drinking this beer on the Isle of Man, I think, would be a much, much nicer experience. I mean, it almost sounds like now I'm really putting the bottle version down. I'm not. I'm just mincing my words a little bit. I'm just saying, if you're in the Isle of Man, try this on cask. You'll probably enjoy it a bit more. In the bottle, it got certain aspects of like an Abbot ale about it, or a pedigree. Maybe a Spitfire or something like that. That classic kind of amber style ale. Let's quickly read the back of the bottle. Bushys is rightly proud that all its products meet or exceed the conditions laid down in the Manx government's Pure Beer Act, which became law in 1874, and reads, there were no brewer shall use terrible ingredients. Basically, I'm not going to read it all out. There's a big list here of so they have their own purity law on the Isle of Man. That is really cool. Bushy Brewery conditioned ale is brewed using the finest of ingredients, including Manx grown hops, a fine, fresh tasting ale that can be enjoyed with a meal or as a refreshing livener at any time of day. Sample the atmosphere of the world famous TT motorcycle races in a bottle. Bushys brews the largest selection of real ales on the Isle of Man and is beloved of beer and bike fans alike. I totally agree with that. My mate Dan, he really likes Bushys, and he likes to talk to me about it all the time. I'm going to rate it. I'd love to go to the Isle of Man for the motorbike racing and to sample some cask Bushys beer. The bottle is nice. I'm going to say 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Thank you very much, Rollercoaster Ride, for sending. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers.